Well, Quest, here we are in the middle of December and preparing for the end of the year, for Christmas, for the coming of 2022. It's kind of one of those unique times of the year. But one of the things I want to do this afternoon or this morning or whenever you listen to this is to talk a little bit about Advent Conspiracy. It's a program that we started when Quest started, and it's a design to be able to maybe spend less and give more, to worship fully and to love more deeply. And we wanted to use this time of the year to maybe kind of take the culture and the season and turn it upside down. In other words, we wouldn't be so much about ourselves, but about reaching out and touching the lives of people. We've done a variety of projects over the year, and they're designed to be short-term projects that help people. This year, our theme, if you will, with clarity, is to be touching the lives of the vulnerable around the world. Now, Advent Conspiracy is intended to steal back that which the culture has stolen at times. And so we want to invest and focus around the world on people who are vulnerable, people who have been disenfranchised by whether circumstances or by political things or by religious things or persecution or whatever it might be that has touched the lives of people. And so we encourage you to give to Advent Conspiracy. Now, we encourage you to make it above and beyond your regular tithe, so that we hold the integrity of our regular budget, but also maintain the integrity of Advent Conspiracy. So, but what we've chosen this year in touching the lives of the vulnerable around the world is our first project is for helping the feeding program or to feed the orphans in an orphanage. In Bulgaria. In fact, it's in a city, a little town called Roma, Bulgaria. And Roma really is a word that's used to describe a particular group of people that are not just in Bulgaria, but really across Eastern Europe and really Europe itself. Traditionally, but often carries a negative connotation when we say they're a gypsy people. But they are a unique culture of people, often that don't really live by national boundaries. They're very transient and nomadic. They're increasingly settled as history has moved on in this century. But they are a people who have been persecuted, they have been held down, they have been looked down on historically around, and even during World War II, this was one of the major groups of people that Hitler exterminated or tried to exterminate, were the Roma people. And in Bulgaria, where Sean and Natalie Key minister, they're connected to an orphanage there that is really well run, but it doesn't have enough funds on its own to do the kinds of things they'd like to do, and we want to support that. So that's our first project. We would encourage you to give to that. Now, when that project's been funded, the next one that we will focus on are widows in Syria, in Lebanon. They're really Syrian widows who have been, their husbands have been killed. They have been displaced from Syria into Lebanon. They're in refugee camps. And one of the most difficult things to do there is to get clean water. And so we have water filters that we are participating in having them get in order for them to be healthier and in order to show the gospel or the love of Christ to these widows who are fending for themselves. And so we want to help them and reach out to these very vulnerable, clearly dispossessed people who are trying to make a go of it. So that'll be our second project. Now, once that one's funded, we'll go into a third project, which will be for women in Haiti, on the island of La Gonave in the city of Ansagale, in connection with the Wish Ministry there. We want to help fund this women's program that we funded 2 years ago and again last year, and we want to continue because it's been incredibly successful in helping these women who are a very oppressed people in Haiti. They have a difficult time making it in Haiti. And so we want to help them. We have a group of almost 70 middle-aged women who are coming to this program, and a group of about 20 younger girls, teenage-type gals who are coming and helping them develop and even entrepreneurially develop small businesses, something that they can be doing. It's really powerful in a country that is a total chaos right now. We want to continue helping them. So once that program to the women has been paid for, we want to help the church and the school that's on the Saline. We rebuilt the school several years ago, but the pastor of that church and the principal of the school, he has been dispossessed from his home because he never took any money and put it into his home. He put it all into the school and to some other programs. But his home, which is simply a dirt floor, but the roof is now so bad that they can't live in it. So they're living in a couple of rooms of the school, but we want to get them back in their home so that the school can expand. And so we want to put a new roof on that building. And then after that, we want to provide and build ramps for people in the inner city of St. Louis who have a difficult time getting out of their house, either because of a disability or because of age. And we want to join New City Fellowship in funding a ramp. So those are the things we want to do. We want to touch the lives of vulnerable people. So I'd encourage you to consider, what could you give to those projects above and beyond your tithe, but to really help these people who find themselves being very vulnerable. That's our heart. That's our desire. We encourage you to participate. All right. Thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. We love you. Be well.